Hey there, YouTube. I'm Jack, and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Hope you're all having a good week out there. I'm looking outside at a beautiful day, and as soon as I get through with this video, I'm going to go out to the park, walk a little bit, and then maybe take some sun. But anyhow, today I want to talk about a raw food diet beginner's tip. Guys, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, I'd appreciate if you'd go down and hit that subscribe button now. Then click on the little bell and check send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel. This is going to be another one of my beginners basics series that I've been doing, that I started, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago. I'm kind of random on these videos now. For some of the more beginner people coming to this lifestyle, mostly from Instagram, I get a lot of questions over there. So I did a beginner video 2 videos ago, sometime in the last 3 videos, and I was talking about fruit until lunch. One of my biggest recommendations where to start is fruit to lunch. I learned that little trick, God, probably 30 years ago in a book called Fit for Life, but that's not the subject today, and I didn't follow that for 30 years, but it was always in the back of my mind, and I did eat fruit for lunch a lot of times. But today I want to talk about green smoothies, adding a big green smoothie, making green smoothies a regular part of your day to day. I'm very simplistic. I mean, Jesus, just go watch. If you watch 8 or 10 of my videos, I guarantee it doesn't even matter which 8 or 10, you will be able to kind of sum me up and figure out what I'm about. I keep things simple. I'm not getting into these deep explanations. Well, it's because of this mixed with this. It just seems to work for me the way that I do it. So, I'm no expert though. But a big green smoothie has been a huge part of my day to day for more years than I can remember. I don't know when I started making the green smoothies a regular thing, but and I want to break it down for you a little bit more than just saying, okay, well, have a green smoothie in your day. There's a lot of reasons for them. One, if you can't lose weight, so many people are always talking about they can't, something to do with volume. They can't lose weight. They're overeating. They can't stop binge eating. In other words, basically they eat more than they want to eat and they can't stop it and they don't know why. Well, your body stays hungry because you're not giving it nutrition. Even when you eat a large volume of food, a lot of times, and it makes sense, the less the food nutrition is in the food that you're eating, the sooner you're going to get hungry again. I mean, there's some, I eat cooked food from time to time, and there's certain cooked food, like if I go to Pensacola to one of my restaurants or whatever, and I eat down there, even though it can be a lot of food, I'll get hungry again because I'm not necessarily satisfying all those areas that I do when I'm preparing food for myself at home. So that's why I like big green smoothies, because like I say, your body stays hungry because you're not feeding it nutrition, and your body still wants that nutrition. So even though you've put a X amount of calories in there, it's like, yeah, but I'm still not getting everything I need. In other words, what I'm saying, calories are not, even if you're getting the exact right amount of calories for your body, calories alone are not enough. Nutrition alone is not enough. There's a lot of people out there. I see a lot of raw vegans out there that have to starving themselves to death, but they get in a lot of good nutrition during the day. They take in more good nutrition than 9 out of 10 people on the planet, but they're not getting enough calories, so their overall health is not going to be the same. You need adequate calories plus adequate nutrition to keep you satiated, keep you full. One thing, I know some people are more eat with their intuitive, and I eat intuitive in one way, but not in another. I don't necessarily wait until I'm hungry to eat. I just have my certain patterns. I eat this in the morning. I eat this usually around a certain time. Now, I'm not regimented. It doesn't have to be, okay, every morning at 8 I eat. Then no matter what, at this time I eat. But it just kind of happens to fall into line that way. So, the green smoothie, the reason I like to advocate for people to add one big one to their diet every day is just simply because of that, because you're going to get satisfaction and you're going to get your nutrition, and those greens that I'm always talking about, always harping on, you're going to be able to get all of that in one source. Now, when I say a big green smoothie, you have to work your way up. A lot of times my big green smoothies consist of 8 or 9 bananas. I mean, if I'm not going to be able to eat, if it's going to be a while before I can eat, or in special circumstances, I even have put 10, 11, 12 bananas in there before. But I'd say an average one is anywhere between 7 and 9 bananas. Then what I do is I cram, well, my typical smoothie is banana, greens. Right now I use a green powder, Daily Green Boost, and I use a little bit of cacao for flavoring. I do recommend, if you can, at all means, rotate your greens. I don't use enough spinach. I don't rotate it up enough. I use a lot of kale, but I like those in there. Sometimes I use seeds. Now we're going to talk about seeds in a minute. I don't always use seeds in mine though, but so what I do is I start off, I'll put my bananas in there, I'll put my Daily Green Boost in there, I'll put a little bit of cacao in there, put a little bit of water, and I'll blend it up. Then I put greens in there. And I know people tell me, well, you shouldn't build it. You're supposed to, fuck off. I build my smoothies like I build my smoothies. So then I put my greens in, and I put as many greens as I can, and I get my tamper, and I tamper that thing down in there, and I blend it, I blend it, I blend it. Then I get another handful of my greens and I stuff them down in there. I stuff them down in there and then I blend them again. Then I sit down, and that's usually a commitment. I've got to know that I don't have to go anywhere soon, because that's a commitment. When I sit down with a green smoothie that size, and I'm doing stuff, I'm working, I'm on my devices, but that's probably about 45 minutes or so to take down that big of a smoothie, and it's very dense. But that keeps me going. Now, this is not about powders and this and that. And you know what? Everybody, to each their own. If you supplement, God bless. If you don't supplement, God bless. If you don't use any powders, God bless. Whatever. But I won't get stuck up on that. Daily Green Boost, I swear by the stuff. I kind of switched over to it from spirulina. Spirulina has a lot of good advantages too. This is an organic barley grass juice powder. Main reason I use it is I just don't feel like we ever get enough greens in, and I'm not eating greens to the volume that I want to. So it's kind of an extra for me. It's not an in place of. I don't call it supplementing anything because it's on top of. As you can already see, I've crammed my greens down in there, and now I've just added that. But the greens are key. I'm telling you, once again, I'm not a big trying to be a huge advocate for the medical medium, because there's a lot of his stuff that I hear and I'm kind of like, I don't know about that. But he's a good guy, and he's got a great explanation on the greens. If you will go to, if you have an iPhone or wherever you get podcasts, just go to wherever you get podcasts on your device and search medical medium. And he's got one of the first talks that'll pop up in there is on the greens. Listen to the one on the greens. It will tell you why getting in an adequate amount of greens is so important. That's why I resonate with him on a few things, because he kind of reinforced a lot of the things that I've been thinking that I've been saying for a long time with them. So go check those out. Now, what I recommend with a lot of people, you may not like bananas. You may not want the volume of bananas. You may want another fruit. That's neither here nor there. Experiment, play with that. I have a hard time keeping weight on, so it's always bananas, especially in my green smoothies for me, because I can get some serious bulk going. I can get a 1,000-calorie smoothie pretty easy. But what I would recommend is whatever you're doing is use your fruit, your greens, and then I would say use some sort of a seed. Now, once again, the purist, who I don't know why in God's name purist would still be watching me, because obviously I'm not a purist. Some people recommend, you shouldn't be adding any fat to any fruit. I think the seeds are great. I don't do them as frequently now because I use seeds in other things. I just had some hemp seeds in my salad dressing for lunch. But I highly recommend adding chia seeds, adding hemp seeds to your smoothies. They're mixing with water anyway. Some people find chia seeds harder to digest or process in the stomach. So you might even want to, I'm sorry, I don't have the time. I'm usually on the flow. I don't soak my chia seeds before I put them into a smoothie, but that's not a bad idea. They'll kind of gel up and they'll be easier for you to take. But Highly recommend that. I'm telling you, 3 pillars right there. If you eat fruit till noon, if you have a big green smoothie every day, and if you eat a big mound of ice cream every day, just fill in the gaps from there. You know, you're going to be taking in a lot of food. You're going to be satiated. Listen, it's in the mind. There's so much food that we can eat. Don't focus on what you can't eat. And like I say, let me just finish with that just to repeat one more time. It's if you're not feeding your body nutrition, your body's going to always be hungry. It's always going to. It may not know what it's craving, and your body, and it might just grab. You might just keep feeding it garbage. You might keep feeding it garbage, and you keep being hungry, and you're like, why am I hungry after I'm eating all this garbage? Because you're not feeding yourself truly. You're not meeting your nutritional needs. So add a big green smoothie to your daily routine. If you're a beginner, if you're not a beginner, if you're not doing it, if you're struggling, but I recommend green smoothies to everybody. Anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you again soon. Peace.